Dum. Can I put my balls in your jaw? Your jaw, balls in your jaw. Can I? Please, can I put my balls in your jaw, sir?
Do you like that, Daddy?
From here. That's more for me. Cherry bomb. Hello. Hello and welcome! It's Potters, like usual. We're doing a little book read today. I'm just making sure. The audio's so quiet in the background. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna hit double for a second. That's a bit better. Right, okay. Need to keep on 20. Stop doing this. I'm not sure what drink to have, so oh my god, someone's already here and voting. Bro, Purple Storm's already at 1. Oh, here we go. 10-minute poll going on. We're gonna be getting into the reading in a moment, but we're gonna go to just chatting for a second and talk about these sneak energy drinks that I've literally just got. Purple Storm is one of them. But yeah, how is it going? We're doing a bit of book read, as I said. We're doing more from Chris Colfer. We're doing The Wish and Spell, Chapter 9, read through. Or I think it was Chapter 8. 8, 9, 8, 9. Oh no, don't say I put 9, it's actually chapter 8. It's chapter 8, oh my god. Just no one saw this. How is it? How are we starting off on a good high? Yeah, I put on my link everywhere. We're doing chapter 9. I'm doing chapter 8. Oh no. I think I did it in my... Oh no, I have, haven't I? Oh no, I've just put it everywhere that I'm doing chapter 9. What a great start to today's stream, hey? So today we are doing book reading. I am just going to quickly change my status. Yes, I'm doing chapter 9. No one knows what chapter 8 is yet. What have I done? Oh, fuck's sake. Such a crazy person, aren't I? Right, chapter 8. Right. I think I've put chapter 9 and everything on social media. What an absolute twit. What am I like today? Right, with that said, talk about Sneak. Oh my god, it's such a good drink, honestly. I don't have much ice in here. So you guys said that I should have watermelon. Sorry, strawberry and watermelon. Oh my god, it's so good. I love it. Need more of this shit. Definitely. I'm actually gonna drink some now. My swallowing, I'm really sorry. Bloody hell. That was a lot of one. With that said, we're going to keep the poll going. But we're going to go over gameplay. Yes, gameplay. We're going to go to reading. And we're going to turn this music down. Really down. Turn to like 3. If you haven't noticed already, we have some Twitch emotes done. For now. They're not the best. But they are getting there, so do check them out. So, yeah. We're on chapter 8, and we are on a hidden place. Just gonna make sure this is big enough for you guys. Yeah, it's got a bit too far down. Zoomed in so much. Yeah, so we'll just carry on. We'll carry on from where we were. I'm going to zoom in a little. This is going to affect you guys for a second. One moment. That's going to look massive as hell. It's so I can read it better. I'm not even joking, so I can read it better. No, I want to make it... No, I want to make this... Hang on. Let's just put this back to... Let's put it to like that. No. One moment, guys. No. 2000. 2000. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's better for you guys. So you guys can read it a little bit easier. So can I. So, a hidden place. The northern tip of the sleeping kingdom was an ugly and vacant place. It was known for its bare trees, bumpy paths, and dangerous high cliffs. Small stones were scattered on the earth, making it nearly impossible to travel by carriage. Even though it rained every so often, nothing ever grew, making it impossible for any animal to live there. In the middle of the day and deserted place was a small castle surrounded by a deep and empty mount. It was ancient and made of dark bricks, wooden doors, and had been through years of decay. No one knew who had built the castle or why it had been built, but then again, very few people knew of its existence. The inside of the castle was covered in a thick layer of dust. Cobwebs almost as old as the castle were on every windowsill. Even through there even though there was no spiders to be found. All the rooms and corridors were empty, except for the occasional decrepit chair or table placed in the corner. A great hall completed the eastern wing of the castle. Floor length, windows bordered the hall, letting in a lot of light. But they were so old that the glass distorted the outside world. The castle couldn't have been a less desirable place to be. But for one woman, it was the perfect place to hide. Somehow, the evil queen had escaped the dungeons of Snow White's palace. She managed to get a hold of the magic mirror and travelled to a place where she knew she would never be found. The castle acted as the perfect sanctuary where she could finish the work she had started so long ago. The evil queen was not a stranger to this place. Over the last century or so, many people had come to the castle, but only she and a few others were fortunate enough to have left it, including someone the former queen had not been in a great while. Had not seen in a great while. Gosh, my English today, guys. Sorry. Throw me at the cupboard. She had recently sent word to an old friend asking him to come and aid her. And so she waited for him to arrive, knowing that he would any day now, for he owed his his life. One more, guys. I've been cleaning my glasses every day. Oh, let's try and read it without glasses. Can we carry it? The evil queen stood facing her magic mirror with open palms and closed eyes. She was quite calm for being the most wanted woman alive. To her right, resting on the short stool, was the heart of stone she had always kept close. Although it was one of the most inflammable objects in all of the kingdoms, very few people had ever seen the evil queen's magic mirror. Many believed it was made of glamorous material like gold and diamonds and glass, so pure one would swear they could walk through it. In reality, the mirror was tall and wide, with a black frame. The peak at a reflection was cloudy, as if it were a glass doorway into a very cold and foggy place. Although there was very little moisture in the air, precipitation dripped down the glass. Precipitation. No, not precipitation. Perspiration dripped down the glass? I generally thought that's a precipitation for a second. I think it's meant to be precipitation. Drip down the glass. Anyway, moving on. The queen opened her eyes and gazed deep into the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, how long till the huntsman answers my call? She asked it. The ghostly silhouette of a man appeared in the reflection. It spoke slowly and softly, with a low, honoured voice. While my queen awaits an old friend, once dear, the huntsman travels very near. The man in the mirror slowly faded away. Within moments, 3 loud knocks came from the other side of the great door. You may enter, the queen said. The doors opened, creaking terribly, and a man entered the hall. He was tall, broad, and just on the verge of old age. He wore a variant of animal skins, and he had a lump in his right leg. His beard was light brown and greying. A crossbow was attached to his back, and a large hunting knife hung from his waist. My husband. No one heard that. Brilliant. My huntsman has returned, the evil queen said. The huntsman walked across the hall to where the evil queen was standing. It's been a long time since I last saw your face, she said, and I still find it hard to stomach looking at you. The huntsman fell on his knees and wept at her feet. Your Majesty, the huntsman cried, please forgive me, for I have never forgiven myself after failing you. The evil queen looked down at him coldly. She had no sympathy left inside for anyone. After all you have done for me, and after all the mercy you've showed me, I could not kill the princess in the forest, the huntsman said, and just look at the pain it has caused you. Had I just done as you asked, you would still be queen. The evil queen lets his pathetic sobs continue for a while longer. She showed no sign of forgiveness. He deserved to feel this way. She stepped away from the huntsman and peered through a window at the lifeless hand that surrounded them. You and I were both prisoners in this castle once, the evil queen said. I never imagined that one day. I never imagined that one day it would act as my only refuge. You saved me, the huntsman said. I surely would have died here had it not been for you. That is why I swore to you when that I would do anything to assist you in your mission. But I failed you. But I failed you. And after all this time, I am still on the same mission as I was back then. So, do not cry, old friend. I have called you here for a chance at, what's the word? Redemption. She walked back to him and gently placed a hand on his cheek. Then the huntsman stopped crying and looked up to the queen with a huge, sad eyes. Redemption? The huntsman asked. You mean, your Majesty, you're still going to give me a chance to serve you after what I've done? The huntsman's tears quadrupled in size, and he continued sobbing. Because this world of claiming you to be anything less than a saint that you are, I'd kill every person who tranquilized your name if I could. That won't be necessary, the queen said. I won't ask for you. It requires a great deal of travelling, and since being the most wanted fugitive alive presents me for doing it myself, I've called you here. The huntsman grew quite weakness, he said. I have grown too old to travel. I can barely walk as it is. The evil queen looked down at him with an angry bow. You imbecile, she said, raising her voice. You mean to tell me you travelled all the way here to tell me that you were useless? The huntsman rose to his feet with difficulty. Not at all, my queen, he said. Please, let me explain. I'm too old to serve you, but my daughter is able and willing to help you complete what I cannot. Daughter? The evil queen asked. The doors at the end of the halls opened up again. This time, a woman entered, dragging a large wagon behind her. She was tall and thin, with hair so dark red it seemed to have a violet tint. Her eyes were bright green, and her clothes were made of entirely of plants and leaves and other greenery. The wagon she pulled contained a large square object. It was large and flat, and was covered in silk cloth for safety. After seeing her, the evil queen could recall a time, many years ago, when she had known the huntsman's daughter. She had always been a shy little girl, and had lived with her father in the place where the evil queen was on the throne. When the evil queen was on the throne. You've grown up? No, sorry. You've grown up, the evil queen says. The huntsman's daughter nodded in her direction. You will speak when I address you, the evil queen demanded. My daughter is mute, your majesty, the huntsman said. She never says a word in her life. However silent she may be, it does not make her any less capable of doing what you ask of her. She brought you a gift to prove herself. The huntsman's daughter carefully removed the object from the wagon and gently placed it beside the queen's magic mirror. Once it was positioned correctly, she removed the silk cloth. It was a mirror, smaller than the magic mirror. It was circular with flowers, engraved with a square golden frame. The evil queen knew exactly what it was the second it was revealed. The Mirror of Truth, she said. The former queen had acquired it during her region. It was another magic mirror that showed someone's true self when one stood before it. How did you get this? The queen asked. She broke into the palace to retrieve it for you, the huntsman said. The queen touched the Mirror of Truth's frame. She has forgotten the details in the carvings. She turned and faced the huntsman's daughter. You shall be huntress, the evil queen declared. The huntress bowed and kissed the queen's hand. Oh, God. What is the task at hand, Your Majesty? The huntsman asked. Have either of you ever heard of the wishing spell? The evil queen asked. Quinn? The evil queen asked. Sorry, Quinn. I don't mean to call you over. The huntsman and the huntress curiously looked at each other. No, my queen, the huntsman said, unless you are speaking of the old foolish fable. The very one, she said. I never took it serious until I recently heard a prisoner from a dungeon mumbling about the moment because of his execution. According to the foolish fable, after a group of select objects are collected and placed together, the collector is granted one wish. It doesn't matter how great or small, the wish is guaranteed to be granted. And as you know, I have a wish to be granted. You want my daughter to collect these items for you? Then the huntsman asked. Precisely, the evil queen said. From what I've learnt, the task is very dangerous and may take some time. But if she succeeds, I will consider her whatever debt you owe diminished. The huntsman looked to his daughter, and the huntress nodded. Very well, she said. She will do it. What are the items you seek, my queen? The evil queen took her place before her magic mirror extended her open palms and gazed deep inside it. Mirror, mirror, on the wall, what must we seek of the wish and spell that grants us all, she said. The ghostly silhouette appeared again. Glass. That, oh God, glass had housed a lonely soul till midnight's final toll. A sabre from a deeper sea, meant for a groom's morality. The bark of a basket held in the fright, while running from a bark with bite. A stone crown that made to shine, found deep within a savage lair. A needle that pierced the lovely skin of the princess with the beauty found within. A wavy lock of golden rope that once was freedom's only hope. Glittery jewels whose value increased after persuading the false decreased. Teardrops of a maiden's fairy feeling, neither magical nor merry. There you have it, the evil queen said to the huntsman, and the huntress. But the magic mirror was not finished. But listen to this, my fair queen, for I offer you a fair warning. For one wish you are willing to pay in any price, unaware that the wish and spell can only happen twice. Oh, okay. And the spell can only happen once more, for it has already been used once before. In this castle, as we stand, a duo move throughout the land. A young brother and sister collects at a quick pace, and may defeat my queen in the wish and spell race. I really like this. The man in the mirror faded away, leaving the queen with the worst possible news. Not only was someone else after the object she needed, but if they were used before, she could collect them. If they were, hang on. Not only was someone else after the object she needed, but if they were needed before, she would collect them. The spell could never be used again. She closed her eyes and thought about what the next move would be. She couldn't afford to have any one odds stacked against her. After a lifetime of work, she wasn't about to let two children stand in her way. I want you to start retrieving the items, the evil queen said to the huntress. I will handle the brothers and sisters. Now leave me. The huntsman and huntress bowed and left the queen alone in the great hall. The evil queen stood before the mirror of truth. Years of being a prisoner had taken its toll on her appearance. It was painful for her to see the aging woman who her reflection had become. She picked up the heart of the stone and examined it closely. Lightly strolling its sides, the evil queen looked back up at the mirror of truth. This time, there was no reflection of the disheartened woman she had grown into. This time, the face staring back at her was a youthful one. It belonged to a beautiful young maiden with pale skin and long dark hair. She wore a long white dress with a matching ribbon tied around the waist and was only holding the heart of the stone. The girl smiled, but the evil queen did not smile back. She knew the girl in the mirror very well, and she was not Snow White. That is it for chapter 8. You know what? Let's go and see what drink we're going to get. I never saw what drink we're going to get. I believe it was the purple one. Yeah, I believe it was the purple one. Ah, lovely. Lovely. So we're going to go and get... I don't know. What do you guys want to do? We've only been live for 35 minutes, and that's one chapter down. The next chapter is... maybe a two-parter. It's really long. It's like 20 pages long. If that's the starting page, 126. 147. Yeah, that's 21 pages long, the next chapter. You know what we're going to do? Just for the fun of it. Because I usually do my streams for an hour, we'll do it up to... I don't know. Either way, if I don't do it now, what's chapter 10 is the Red Riding Hood Kingdom. What is this chapter then? I'm guessing, yeah, the Charming Kingdom. Right, okay. What we'll do is we'll leave Red Riding Hood for next stream. So we're going to try and read through all this, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to go through it that easy so quickly. How long would that take? 30 minutes to do what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. This one's 20, so 1, 2, 14, 21. So take about another half an hour. Each 7 pages, so 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's going to take about an hour and 50 minutes or so. We're going to quickly go to our BRB pretty quickly. I'm going to quickly get a drink. Really quickly. I'm just going to get another energy drink and make another sneak drink. I'm going to be making the purple power, was it? I believe you guys asked for that one. Purple storm. Purple power, what the fuck am I thinking about? But yeah, we're going to go and get a purple storm. And we're going to come back here and read a bit more. So, back in a bit, guys. Drink for me, drink for me, and I was so heavy. It's so good, I'm beating my mic. It's so good, I'm muting my mic just then. Oh, my hands are freezing. I put ice on it and everything. It smells nice. It smells nice, yeah. Actually smells oh, it smells so good. Hang on, I need more of this. Holy shit. Oh, it's like rhubarb custard. Sorry, what? This is so good. These drinks, guys, these are so good. Anyway, like rhubarb custard. You know, we will have that in our pocket. Pocket. Holy moly. We're going on to chapter 9. How are we doing, chat? Actually, no, we're going to wait for a second. See, how's everybody doing, actually? Going straight right back into it. How are you dudes doing? Who's here? Say hello in chat if you are. I just disconnected from chat. Wouldn't I just do that? What a brilliant human being. Hello, I'm in chat now. So if you are here, say hello. Give me a shout. Oh, this is cute. Someone's got Pride going on at the moment over in their country, and it looks so cute. It really does. But yeah. Say a hey if you're here, if you're around. What are you guys up to? What are you doing today? I hope you are having a lovely Friday. I am just taking a little break after chapter 8. Took a little break after chapter 8. It works. Alright, calm down. What am I like? Don't disconnect me from chat again. Whatever you do. We're going to carry on in a moment. I'm just taking a few breaks. The last chapter, what we found out is that the evil queen is also trying to get the wish and spell. And we found out from the mirror of truth, I believe it was, that the the queen knows that the young sister, the young children, the two young children, Connor and Alex, or Alex and Connor, more specifically, are looking to do the wish and spell as well. The evil queen's got a hunter and a huntress who are going to collect the pieces for them, especially the huntress. That's what her main job, as a hunter can't go around that much, but he'll probably be doing the logistics of it. And the evil queen is going to focus her attention on the kids. Now, I feel like this is going to happen. This is going to be bad. I feel like I know what's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be a moment in the future that something hits off and it goes crazy. We're on a page 124 out of 337. We'll be on 147 in a moment out of 337 once we've done this bit. So we are pretty much, if you think about it, we've gone past the third way. So we've done quite a lot of this. I'm going to have a bit more to drink, and then we're going to get straight onto it. I really love this drink. Thank you very much for my friend Don Maximo, the Don Maximo. Go check them out on Twitch for recommending this, and Lamadia, also over on Twitch, for Sneak energy drinks. I'm not joking, you guys. This is probably like one of the best decisions I've made today. It's the other day. Sorry, to go and get it. Don gave me a code, and I supported Hannah as a creator as well when purchasing. Just put Hannah into the when you purchase. But I'm gonna hopefully have my own one in the future when I get to partnership. Hopefully get to partnership. God, don't say that. Don't say hopefully. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, guys. We have to. Oh, 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 sensitive teeth, sensitive teeth. Oh no. And then coughing on top of that. Oh, bruh, best experience. Also, thank you very much for Korn for the backing music throughout my streams recently. I can't wait for more music to come out to use on the streams. But yeah, right. There we go. Right, here we go. Here we go, they say. Going not to cough again. The Charming Kingdom. This is the next one. It's gonna take us some time, so buckle up, get some food and drink while you're listening. I hope you like. This is going back to Alex and Connor. Sorry, guys. Slowly dying in the corner. Alex and Connor woke up on the floor of Rabezel's tower just after sunrise. They were snuggled under the blankets Froggy had given them, and they'd used their bags as pillows. Sorry, guys. How did you sleep? Alex asked her brother. Like I slept on the floor of a tower, Connor said, thinking he'd never take his bed at home for granted again. He stretched his back and his joints, then his joints made. Okay, sorry, I've read that as take his bed back again. I'll do that again. 1 moment. Like I slept on the floor of a tower, Connor said, thinking he'd never take his bed for granted again. He stretched his back. He stretched his back and his joints. He stretched his back and his joints made a sound of like a firecracker. Firecrackers. Oh my gosh, the energy drink's got it to me. Excuse me, guys. They put away their blankets and decided to get an early start on their day. Alex insisted on tidying up the tower, leaving it in a better condition than they found it in. I'd hate for anyone to think we made this mess, Alex said. Connor rolled his eyes at her and made sure she saw it. What's our next stop? Connor asked Alex. She looked back and forth from the map in one hand and the journal in the other. Well, the Charming Kingdom is just east of here, Alex said. I figure it would be wise to get there and see if we can get a hold of Cinderella's slipper. And how exactly are we going to do that? Connor asked. Alex said to think about it. Well, just ask if we can borrow it, she just decided. Fat chance, Connor said. That's like walking into the White House and asking for the Declaration of Independence, you know? Like that would ever happen. Although Connor was wrong about the whereabouts of the Declaration of Independence, Alex knew he was right to be concerned. How were they going to get their hands on one of Cinderella's slippers? Surely they must be the most prized possession of the kingdom. Well, we'll have to try our best, Alex said. What other options do we have? Like, what do we have, Connor? Are we just going to slip in that smash and grab, you know what I mean? Or are we just going to punch the wall down, you know? The twins travelled down the spiral staircase in the core of Rabezel's tower and returned to the path. They eventually came to a fork, where a new path split off the east direction. The sign above the fork said Charming Kingdom and pointed to the direction of the new path was headed. Connor looked at the sign, said, Connor, look at the sign, said Alex, pressing her hand against her cheeks. Now I really wished I had a camera. They travelled down the new path for quite while without discovering anything new. But the same dirt path and the evergreen trees they had seen for the last 2 days. Connor became more anxious the farther he wanted. Connor became more anxious the further he walked, letting out large extended sighs every minute or so. Are you sure we ain't lost? I swear, I've seen boulders and that tree about 20 times already, he said, pointing. I'm positive we've travelled in the right direction. I've been watching the map since we left, Alex said. We should be approaching a stream very soon, and once we cross it, we'll be in Charming Kingdom. Connor sighed again. It would be his last one for a while, so he made sure it lasts extra longer. No. Don't be crazy. A couple of hours later, there was no stream in sight. Connor was starting to lose faith in his sister's navigation abilities. This place must be bigger than we thought, Alex said. Or the map is completely off scale. Eventually, the twins found the stream. Alex had seen on the map. The path went across a small bridge made out of pale stones and then continued on the other side. You see, I told you I knew where we were going, Alex said, with her head held high. Yeah, Connor said. Honestly, Connor, I'm a little disappointed in the lack of faith, Alex gloated. If there's one place I should have known my way around, it would have been grrr. Connor heard her sister's high-pitched scream before he realized what had happened. A large troll had jumped right in front of them on the bridge. He was short and very wide, with an enormous head. He was covered in matted fur, with large eyes and a snort. His arms and legs were tiny, but his nails and teeth were sharp and long. You are on my bridge, the troll shouted. How dare you! We're sorry, Alex. Fucking hell, what accent have I gone to? Speaking of whatever that is. You're on my bridge, the troll shouted. How dare you! We're so sorry, said Alex, clutching onto her brother like a monkey to a tree. We had no idea this bridge belonged to anyone. Maybe you should put up a sign or, something, Connor suggested, and then regretted it once it made the troll even angrier. What are you doing on my bridge? The troll demanded. Trying to cross into Charming Kingdom, Alex said. We didn't mean any harm. No one crosses my bridge without answering a riddle. Riddle? The troll said. A riddle, Alex said. Let him go, Connor. Oh, you're a bridge troll. A bridge troll? Connor asked. Yes, just like in Three Billy Goat's Gruff, Alex said happily. She was so excited to witness another fairy tale occurrence, and her fear faded away. If you've ever... Fuck's sake, why have I gone to this voice? If you wish to cross my bridge, you must answer my riddle correctly, the bridge troll said. Answer incorrectly, and I'll bite off your head. Excuse me, bite off my heads, Connor said. Steam was particularly coming from his ears. What is wrong with everyone in this place? Why does everyone we meet want to eat us? Can someone please explain it to me? Why this keeps happening? Connor, calm down. Calm the fuck down, Connor, Alex insisted. Let's just solve the riddle, and then we'll be on our way. What if we get rid of Wang? Connor said. He'll kill us. Let's just find another way to cross the stream. Connor, don't be silly. If it's a simple Billy Billy Goat can answer a riddle correctly, I'm sure we can too, Alex assured him. Besides, there isn't another bridge for miles. I'm gonna die. Connor grunted and crossed his arm. That's not a grunt. How are we so sure this is actually his bridge? Connor said. I'd like to see someone ownership identification before we continue. Sounds like me. Alex ignored him. What's your riddle, Mr. Big Bridge Troll? She asked. May I call you Mr. Bridge Troll? The Bridge Troll eyed the twins and jointly swayed from side to side as he began the riddle. What can be as small as a pea or as large as the sky and is not owned by a person who purchases it? It asked. The wheels in Alex's head began turning immediately. She loves riddles. That's a tricky one, Alex said, and pressed her index finger against her lips. And she thought, do you have any guesses, Connor? As she thought, do you have any guesses, Connor? Nope, you're on your own, Connor said. You had one guess before I bite off your head, so guess wisely, the bridge troll said. Doing a small dance and clapping his hands. That's it. I'm out of here, Connor said. He walked off the bridge and slowly made his way down the stream. Connor, what are you doing? Alex called out. I'm crossing the stream, Connor yelled back. No bridge is worth that much trouble. He's slowly stepping into the stream and began travelling across it. The water was freezing, but his frustration kept him warm, enough that it did not matter. The water rose higher and higher as he travelled further across it. It's not that deep, Alex, Connor said. The current isn't even that strong. He reached the middle of the stream, and at the deepest, the water came to just above his waist. You're cheating, Alex said, and then asked the bridge troll, is that even allowed? Can he do that? He isn't the one who asked for the riddle. You are, the bridge troll said. Connor had crossed the stream by now and was soaking wet. Alex continued thinking about the riddle. So, it can be as small as a pea and as large as the sky. So basically you're telling me it can be any size. And the person who buys it doesn't own it. So you mean someone else owns it? She thought out loud. Hurry up, Alex, Connor shouted. Oh, hush, Alex said. I'm going to say that it must be a gift. A gift can be any size and received. The receiver is who owns it, not the person who purchased it. The bridge troll stopped swaying from side to side and slumped over. That's correct, the bridge troll said disappointedly. You may pass. Alex clapped her hands together and did a small jump. She extended her hands out to offer the troll a handshake, but he ignored it. Instead, he crawled back below, to wherever he had jumped out from. See? Alex said once she'd met up with her brother on the other side of the bridge. I knew you would answer it correctly. Connor shook his head. And I'm sure we'll have to hear about it for the rest of our lives, he said. But let's try to make it to Cinderella's palace by sundown, okay? The twins continued their journey into the charming kingdom. They were so excited to see different scenery as they travelled. The evergreen trees they had seen so much of became scarce and were slowly replaced by large oak trees. There were also vast fields of tall grass and wildflowers everywhere they looked. It's so beautiful here, Alex said. They had been walking for hours and still saw no sign of anything. Connor was particularly dry by now. Where is everything? Connor asked. The Charming Kingdom is a very big place, Alex said. It's going to take a while to get to the palace, so, we might have to camp the night or two, or, we might have to shit in a cellar. You know what I mean. It began to get dark, and the twins became very worried. There was no shelter in sight. Soon the moon was their own source of light. They walked a short distance off the path and found a grassy area among a few trees that was assumed and hoped was safe, and they decided to spend the night here. Connor tried making a fire, rubbing two sticks together, but was unsuccessful. Now, I really wish I had a sign up for Boy Scouts. Now I wish I really signed up for Boy Scouts. I did when I never got in. It was their first night sleeping outside. Both kept waking up every hour or so to make sure they were still safe, because every sound terrified them. What was that? Alex gasped in the middle of the night. That's an owl, Connor said, or a very inquisitive dove. But either way, I think we're safe. The next morning, the sunrise woke them. They restlessly got to their feet and returned to the path. We're running out of food, Alex said after eating one of the last apples. We'll have to stock up as soon as we find a market or something. I'm so tired of rolls and apples. I'm starting to think we should have asked Froggy to pack us some flies, Connor said. Gosh, I would kill for a cheeseburger. Maybe that's why everyone eats each other here. They just haven't discovered fast food yet. It's a fairy tale, Connor, for fuck's sake. They found a small pond on the side of a path and splashed some water on their face. We looked so tired. We looked so tired, said Alex, looking at the reflection in the water. The twins heard a galloping sound coming from behind them on the path. Them on the path. They turned to see a small car of firewood being pulled by a grey horse. It was steering by a man with a big floppy green hat. Gandalf, what are you doing here? I'm joking. Please don't be Gandalf. Let's ask him how much further until the palace, Alex said, and ran over to the car. Excuse me, sir. Whoa, the man said, slowing his horse to a stop. May I help you? How much further till we reach Cinderella's palace? Alex said. Are you travelling by foot? The man asked. Unfortunately, Connor said. Then it'll take you days to get there, the man said. Alex and Connor looked at each other, completely exasperated. I'm delivering the firewood near the palace tonight, the man said. I can give you a ride if you'd like. Before he could finish the sentence, Connor had climbed aboard the cart. Thank you so much, Alex said. That is kind of you. That's kind of you. The twins travelled with the man for the rest of the day. Connor made himself comfortable on top of the firewood and napped almost the entire trip, waking up every so often whenever they hit a bump on the road. Alex, on the other hand, took a full advantage of having the actual human to talk to from the fairy tale world. That would be me. What's your name? Alex said to the man. Smithers, the man said. Where are you from? She asked. I grew up in a small village in the northern passage, the Charming Kingdom, Smithers said. Oh, God. What's it like here? Alex said dreamily. One moment while I get the door. My brother and I, well... Sorry about that. Where will we get to? Before we go to the Smithers. Right. So, what's your name, Alex? Said the man. Smithers, the man said. Where are you from? She asked. I grew up in a small village. I don't know where I'm going with this. I can't even do the accent anymore. What was I trying? I grew up in a small village in the northern part of the charming kingdom, Smithers said. What is it like here? Alex said dreamily. My brother and I haven't been around from the kingdom very much. The charming kingdom, it's a quiet place, Smithers said. It has many small villages on the outskirts of the kingdom and many wealthy estates in the center near the palace. Have you ever been to the palace before? Alex said. Oh, yes. I make many deliveries there during the year, Smithers said. In fact, tonight, the king and queen are having a huge ball. Oh, shit. They are? Alex eyed. Doubled in size. She shook Connor awake. Connor, did you hear that? Cinderella having a ball tonight. Isn't that wonderful? What are the chances? What? Oh, that's great, Connor said, and then immediately fell back to sleep. Oh, that is the best. That is the best. Why are they having a ball? Alex asked. They have one every month since their wedding, Smithers said. It's a celebration of their marriage. What's Queen Cinderella like? She asked. Absolutely beautiful. And the best queen our kingdom had ever had. Smithers said with a big grin. Not too many people were eager to accept her when she first moved into the palace. Though many of the astronomical families Astronomical families were upset that Prince Charming hadn't chosen one of their daughters to wed. But she's overcome all that since. Alex could tell we're getting much closer to the palace. They passed in more small villages which grew in size and population as they went along. She was so excited to be so close to the actual people who had spent their entire lives in the fairy tale world. She wished with all her heart she could grow up in the charming kingdom. Do you ever find it overwhelming? Alex asked Smithers. Doesn't it ever get frightening living here and knowing that at any moment a fairy could fly by, grant you a wish, or an orc could run up and eat you? Smithers looked at her curiously. Does such a place exist where people can't unexpectedly be helped or hurt? Alex couldn't think of any. Maybe this world and the world she was from weren't so different after all. The cart began to pass the large estate. Everywhere they looked, they saw another huge, elegant house. They were all so bright and colourful, with pointed roofs that curved on the sides. Some were made from wood, others from brick, and some were covered completely in ivy. It was something straight out of the storybook, and Alex kept reminding herself that she was in one. We're almost at the palace, Smithers said. We're almost at the palace, Smithers said. The cart began to vibrate as the dirt path beneath them turned into a cobblestone street. Shops and markets started popping up on the sides of the street as they travelled into the city. They shared the road with the other carts and carriages, Villagers and townsfolk alike walked along them and went about their day-to-day routines of shopping and trade. "Are we there yet?" said Connor, staring back to life. The cart rounded a corner onto a very large and wide street. At the end of the street was an enormous palace. "I'll take that as a yes." "I'll take that as a yes," Connor said. The palace took Alex's breath away. It was perfectly symmetrical and smooth, as if it was made of sky grey porcelain. Three-pointed towers in the middle of the palace shared a base with a gigantic clock, large enough for a whole kingdom to see. The palace almost seemed fake. It was so magical, it was so majestic, and was grounded than they had ever imagined. "This is where I'll drop you off," said Smithers, pulling his cart and horse over to the side of the street. "Best of luck to both of you, youngsters. Enjoy the town." "Thank you so much," the twins said together. They tried to offer him a few gold pieces to thank you, but Smithers insisted they save their money and then went on his way. The twins walked around the town for a good while. Everyone seemed to be buzzing with anticipation for the ball later that evening. They found a small market and were able to purchase freshly fruit, vegetables, and breads. Alex kept trying to make small talk with every person she encountered, but most of the townspeople ignored her. Connor kept rolling his eyes at her sister. Everything excited her. Everything excited her. "I don't know about how I'm going to survive traveling with you if you keep up consistent state of excitement," Connor said. "It's exhausting and it's really getting on my nerves." "I'm sorry," Alex said. Sorry, guys. "We've been around so many trees the last couple of days. I'm just so excited to see all the people and their... Oh, look at that doorknob on that building. It's in the shape of a slipper. Isn't that cute? Oh my god." After a busy afternoon of sightseeing, they found a quiet hill that overlooked the town, and they sat under the shade of a large tree. The sun was staring to the end, and the twins grew anxious at the thought of another day ending. "What's our plan?" Connor asked. "Let's see what the journal suggests," Alex said, and pulled it out from her school bag. She flipped through the pages until she came across the section about the glass slipper. Cinderella's glass slipper is a very difficult item to retrieve. Her slipper, without a doubt, are most cherished possessions of the kingdom. Oh god. First, you must find a way into the palace. This is rather difficult, as there is only one entrance. One of Cinderella's first acts as a queen was to get rid of all the servant entrances, so that when people come to the palace, they all enter as equals. Once inside, find a way into Cinderella's royal display room. This will also be difficult, since no one is allowed in the Queen's chambers without an invitation from her. The slippers are on display in the glass box on the top of a pillar in the center of the room. The slippers are not hard to remove from inside the glass box, but the room is under constant watch by 2 guards at its entrance. Find a way to be alone in the royal display room and remove a slipper quietly and quickly leave as fast as you can. because as soon as they notice something is missing, the guards will close the palace doors, and you'll be trapped and taken to the dungeons to be hung upside down from your toenails. Best of luck. How are we going to get into the palace? Connor asked. Alex began to think of a plan, but she was distracted by the long line of carriages driving down the main street of the town towards the palace. They were elegant and colourful, and each was of its own design. Each carriage had at least 2 horses pulling it, a coachman, a footman riding on the back, and a number of passengers inside. The ball, Alex said. We have to sneak into the ball. Said Connor, contemplating the oh my gosh. Contemplating this information. And what are we supposed to wear? Look at us. We're not dressed formally enough. And I bet we smell really fresh after walking for 3 days straight with no showers. I have an idea, Alex said. Fucking better be good. She opened their bags and took out their blankets. She grabbed hold of Connor and began wrapping the blankets around him, folding it strategically in certain places so it would stay up. Alex wrapped herself in other blankets. There, Alex said. Now we look like we're wearing sensible robes. We look ridiculous, Connor said. Do you have any other ideas? Alex asked him. Do you think there's a fairy godmother hotline we could call? Connor asked. The twins walked down the main street. They followed the traffic of carriages toward the palace. The closer they came to the palace, the larger it grew, and the more real it became. Many of the coachmen glared at the twins with bewildered and judgment looks. A few passengers leaned out of the carriage windows to see what the twins were doing. Take a picture, it lasts longer, Connor shouted at them. Connor, they don't know what that means, Alex said. They reached the palace just as the sun was setting. As each carriage neared the front steps of the palace entrance, its footman would run around the carriage and gently help the passengers out. Alex and Connor had never seen such a beautiful clothing, and the women wore long ball gowns of various colours, fabrics and stitching. They wore gloves and diamonds. Some wore bows and feathers in their hair. The men all dressed beautifully too, some in formal armour and some in white in suits with broad fringed shoulders and square cuffs. All the efforts and flair that the guests had put into their appearance made the twins feel very insecure about their impromptu robes. They stuck out like some fobs. They were the youngest people there. They were the only ones not dressed in lace or satin. And they were the only ones carrying bags. They looked exactly like what they were, a couple of kids sneaking into a ball. An extended row of steps led up to the palace entrance. Alex and Connor began climbing them with the rest of the attendees. It was such a climb. They wondered if they would ever reach the top of it. This world had goblins and fairies, but where's an escalator when you need one? Connor said. Connor, Alex gasped. Look at this. She pointed to the silver star place and steps underneath their feet. It said, "This marks the very place where Cinderella left her glass slippers behind on the night she met Prince Charming." Can you believe that's the very spot Cinderella left her glass slippers? Alex said, with both hands pressed against her heart. Absolutely, Connor said. I wouldn't have climbed these steps again if I had left my shoes either. The twins caused quite a scene to the entrance. Everyone was absolutely appalled by their clothing. Alex could feel herself blushing from the way everyone was staring at her. She felt like she was back at school. One palace guard in particular couldn't stop staring at them, not in a judgmental way, but as if they had seen them somewhere before and couldn't remember where. He was standing just a step inside the palace entrance, and he greeted all the guests as they passed him. He wore more badges on his uniform than any other guard, and he had very thin black beard. Another palace guard was collecting invitations at the door. The twins began to panic. What are we going to do? Alex whispered to her brother. Let me handle this, Connor said. I saw this in a movie once. Just go with it. Invitations, please, the guard said. Our parents had our invitations, but they're already inside, Connor said. And who are your parents? Asked the guard snootily. Who are your parents? Who are our parents? Yelled Connor, caught in a big scene than they had already. You mean you don't know who we are? All the guards and guests looked among one another. Connor, calm down, Alex said. What was he thinking? This man doesn't know who your parents are. Alex and Connor continued. I'll have you know our parents invested wishing well. How dare you show us any disrespect? Alex wanted to slap him. She looked apologetic at the people around them. They all scrolled in the twins' direction, except the guard with the thin beard. He was actually smirking at them with gentleness in his eyes. I'm afraid you two have to leave now, said the guard, collecting the invitations. Leave? You're making the hair so the wishing well's fortune leave? Connor exclaimed loudly enough for everyone to hear. Connor, just shut up, Alex whispered in a direction into his ear. Is there a problem? The guard said, with the thin beard, asked as he approached the twins. Not at all, Alex said, and began backing up, forcing Connor to move with her. They don't have an invitation, the other guard said. We were just leaving, Alex said. Sorry for the confusion. Nonsense, the guard with the thin beard said. I just saw your parents inside the palace. Why don't I take you to them? Alex and Connor froze. You did? Connor said, and they quickly remembered that he had to keep up with his own lie. I mean, of course you did. He grew a dirty look to the other guards. Come with me, and I'll take you straight to your parents, the guards with the thin beard said. Before they knew, Alex and Connor were being escorted into the palace. Escorted into the palace. They were completely in over their heads. Did the guards know they were lying, and was he now escorting them directly to the dungeon? Or perhaps Connor's lie was truer than they thought, and they were about to meet a couple that were definitely not their parents. Allow me to introduce myself, the guard said. I'm Sir Lambton, the head of the Queen's Royal Guard. Welcome to the palace. Thank you, Connor said. I'm Connor Wishington, and this is my sister Alex. Where are you from, Mr. and Mrs. Wishington? Lambton asked. Upstate, Northern Kingdom, Connor asked. Even he looked surprised by the words coming out of his mouth. But our parents have a summer home in the south of Sleeping Kingdom, and a condo in the Fairy Kingdom. Alex's eyes opened up so widely that she had to remember herself to blink. Alex's I see. Lambton said. I see. I see. Lambton said with a curious look. Would you like me to take your bags for you? No, that's quite right. That's all right. Alex said. We'll manage. Lambton led the twins down a long hallway behind all the other guests. There were so many large portraits of past rulers of the walls, and the red carpet ran under their feet. Alex and Connor were all eyes. They had never seen inside of a royal palace before. They were so excited. There were so many shiny things to look at. Lambton seemed to be enjoying their excitement. He leant between them and softly said, You're sneaking into the palace, aren't you? Alex desperately looked at Connor, but he was out of lies for the night. Please don't throw us in the dungeon, Alex pleaded. We didn't mean to cause any harm. Connor looked at his sister and raised an eyebrow. Did she mean no harm besides breaking into a palace and stealing a cherished item? Lambton chuckled. I've seen a lot of youngsters try to sneak into this royal ball before, but never have I been so entertained by such an intent, he said. So, you aren't going to throw us into a cell and hang us upside down by our toenails? Connor asked. We stopped doing that ages ago, Lambton said. On the contrary, it would be my honour to show you two around. Really? Connor said. That would be lovely, Alex said, clasping her hand together. Thank you. At the end of the hall, Lambton led the twins through a pair of golden doors into the ballroom. At first, the sight was overwhelming. There were so many things to look at, it was impossible to focus on one thing long enough to comprehend what it was. There was so much movement and colour. The biggest chandelier they'd ever seen, with thousands of candles hung from the ceiling above the enormous dance floor, hundreds of formally dressed men and women filled with space, some mingled on the sides while others danced to the music played by a small orchestra in the corner. Everything from archways to the ancients of the walls was golden. A grand staircase descended into the back of the room, just behind two empty thrones. Connor knew it would only take a few seconds before Alex started crying. It's so beautiful, Alex said, with tears eyes. Is this where they had the ball where Cinderella and Prince met? Indeed, Lambton said. I'll never forget it. I was just a simple guard back then. A prince was meeting all the young women in the kingdom in hopes of finding a bride. Cinderella was the last to arrive the night. She entered the room just as we now are now, and everyone stopped to look at her. How did she look? Alex said. Magical, Lambton said, with a smile. Lost his own memory. She wore a long violet dress that sparkled as she walked. I remember hearing the soft traps of her glass slippers as she walked past. As soon as the prince saw her, it was love at first sight. The whole palace could feel it. Hello. The cat's joined us, everyone. Cat has joined us. Send help. Suddenly, do you want attention? Is that what you want? You want attention? Hello? You okay? Oh, bloody hell, you're feisty today. Fucking hell. What does he want? Hang on, guys. We've got the cat about. Oh no, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Should we just keep going? Hello, do you want to come up here with me? Don't scratch the fucking chair. Just come up here. Oh yeah, you can't fit up here. Okay, you don't want to sit on me and cuddle up while I like read out a book, and you could like sit here and listen to it and be so cute and cuddle together. No, you just want attention. Okay, that's all you want. That's all you want is attention. Brilliant. Suddenly, a man blew a trumpet at the floor, at the foot of the guard staircase. With a great honour that I welcome you, the royal ball this evening. Now, please give a warm welcome to the Royal Majesty, King Charming and Queen Cinderella. Could you imagine if it was like that? The guests cheered and burst into applause. The royal couple entered the ballroom, slowly making their way down the guard staircase. Alex grabbed onto Connor's arm. Connor, Alex gasped. It's Cinderella! It's Cinderella! Although, ow, biting my fucking pinky. Although the twins had only seen illustrations of her, Cinderella was more beautiful than they had ever expected. Her hair was... Oh, fuck's sake. Hello, Wise. What do you want? Tacking my hand. What is he like? Why did he just attack my hand and fucked off? He didn't even scratch me. He's just playing around. I'm gonna read that all again. Hello, what do you want? What the fuck was that for? For fuck's sake. Right. Drink down, let's go. Although the twins had only seen an illustration of her, Cinderella was the most beautiful, more beautiful than they had ever expected. Her hair was unburned, styled up behind a crystal tiara. She wore white gloves, and a long turquoise gown flowed down around her. Great. What the extending her pregnant belly, yeah. Extend something. Make it easier, life. Her pregnant belly. Despite all the gold and the glorious chandeliers, her eyes and smile were the brightest thing in the room. King Charming was the definition of dashing. He was every bit as handsome as the description ever written about him. He had a mesmerizing smile and thick wavy hair under a large golden crown. He could easily have been a movie star back in the twins' world. The king and queen took their seats on the thrones, and the guards with the trumpets blew an opening note for another announcement. Let the ball begin! The guards with the trumpet proclaimed, and was greeted with another round of excited applause. You know what I should have done? I should have had time looked up to do this. So when I said that, let the ball begin, the guard with the trumpet proclaimed, and was greeted with another round of excited applause. Voila, that was so good. The majority of guests rushed to the dance floor. The orchestra began to play the fast-paced symphony. All the guests paired up and began waltzing around the room, each looking lovingly into their partner's eyes and at the entire time. The kingdom and queen remained seated. You could tell Cinderella wanted to join the dance, but her pregnancy was preventing her from doing so. King Charming only had eyes for his wife. He was enjoying her watching the dance more than the actual dance itself. At one point, each of the dancing men collected a shoe from their partners and circled them with it before placing it back on their feet. A Cinderella tribute, no doubt. Time flew by as the twins watched the ball. The unborn child Cinderella was carrying must have been kicking from all the excitement. Cinderella appeared to have some discomfort and had been rubbing her belly and shifting in her seat for some time. She eventually whispered something to King Charming's ear. King Charming took his wife's hand and carefully helped her back up the guard staircase. The guard blew a trumpet again. The queen is tired and wishes to rest, but she and King welcome you to continue the celebrations without their presence. The crowd happily obliged and continued their fun. Would you like a tour of the palace? Lambton asked the twins. More than anything, Alex said. Lambton escorted the twins out of the ballroom and down the hallway, similar to the one they first entered the palace through. It too was home to several portraits of past rulers and a long red carpet. This palace was built over 500 years ago, Lambton told them as he walked. It's been home to Charming. It's been home to the Charming dynasty since then. This is a portrait of King Chester Charming, Cinderella's late father-in-law. He referred to a large painting on an old bearded man with a crown. He looked exactly like his son, but much older. How many King Charmings have there been? Connor asked. He lost count, Lambton said. We've lost count, Lambton said. There are 3 current King Chesters. There are 3 current King Chester had 4 sons. Chance Charming, Chase Charming, Shanda Charming, and Charlie. Shall we do that again, everyone? We've lost count, Lambton said. There are 3 current kings. There are 3 currently. King Chester had 4 sons. Chance Charming, Chase Charming, Chandelier Charming, and Charlie Charming. Each Charming brother has his own portrait on the wall. King Chance Charming is the oldest and married the Queen Cinderella, Lambton said, and gestured to the portrait of the men they had just seen in the ballroom. King Chase Charming is the second oldest and married to Queen Sleeping Beauty, Lambton continued. Excuse me while I burp my life out of my thing. Excuse me. Chase looked exactly like his brother, except he was a bit taller and wore a goatee. King, what was that? King Chandelier Charming is the third oldest and is to marry Queen Snow White, Lambton said. Chandelier, 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 that might have said. I'm going to call it chandelier. Sorry, chandelier, charming. Chandelier looked like his brothers, but had the longest hair of them all. The last portrait in the hallway caught the twins' eyes the most. It was hung slightly away from the rest, and despite the youngest of the charming brothers, he was young and had a big smile. A single candle was lit beside the portrait. It appeared to be a memorial of sorts. Who is that? Connor asked Lambton. Well, that's helpful. Lambton's happy expression faded away. That's Prince Charlie, the fourth son of the King Cheshires. He's the long-lost charming prince, Lambton said. He vanished one night many years ago, and no one's ever seen him again. That's horrible, Alex said. His brothers led a massive search party throughout all the kingdoms, but they never found a trace of him, Lambton said sadly. Fortunately, some good came from the search. While on the road, Prince Chandelier came across Snow White in her glass coffin, and Prince Chase discovered Sleeping Beauty asleep in her castle. And they both broke their spells put on them and were married. That's incredible, Alex said. So if Prince Charlie never went missing, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White would still be unconscious. That may be, Lambton said. And since his brothers took all the eligible princesses, Prince Chance had to put on the ball where he met Cinderella. Everything happens for a reason, I suppose. Alex and Connor couldn't stop staring at a portrait of Prince Charlie. There was a sad energy in the part of the hallway, and the twins were especially sensitive to it. The long-lost prince couldn't have been much older than them when he'd gone missing. Lambton clearly appreciated the twins' interest. Now, follow me. I have something very special I wanted to show you, Lambton said. Lambton led the twins down another hallway that led deeper into the palace. This part of the palace was completely vacant, and it made the twins more and more nervous as they walked. They had no idea where Lambton was taking them, and they were too timid to ask. They rounded the corner, and at the end of another long hallway was a pair of black doors. There were two guards on either side of the door, and a large stone arched above them to display the sign Queen Cinderella's Royal Room of Display. Alex and Connor looked at each other, the lights in their eyes. They had made it. "Hello, Sir Lambton," one of the guards said. Good evening, Lambton said. He pushed open the doors, and the twins followed him inside. They set their bags down and looked around the room. The display room was a wide chamber with white pillars and a sky blue tiled floor. The ceiling was domed and covered in golden stars. The room was illuminated by the moonlight coming from a large window in the back, and then reflected throughout by a series of hanging mirrors. Several special objects were on display and placed on the top of the short pillars, and surrounded by a thick glass case. Brooms, buckets, and old ragged dresses were all put on show, A family of mine lived in a glass cage in a miniature replica of this palace. In the very centre of the room were Cinderella's glass slippers. They were beautiful and petite, made from pure crystals, glass, and decorated with diamonds. The twins could feel their hearts shrink into their pits of their stomachs as soon as they saw them. They were so close. "Those are beautiful," Alex said. The slippers had put her in a trance. I'm quite patrol to... Hang on. How was it? Hang on, I'm just going to question something. How was there two slippers, right, when this spell's been done once already, and the two slippers, must have been one slipper used already? I'm really confused. How does that make sense? Let's have an explanation in a second. Those are beautiful, Alex said. The slippers had put her in a trance. I'm quite betrayed to myself, said a soft voice that didn't belong to Alex, Connor, or Lambton. Sitting on the windowsill in the back of the room was Cinderella herself. Oh my god. They had been so astonished by the display room, they hadn't noticed her. Your Majesty, Lambton said, please forgive me. I didn't see you there. I was just giving these guests a tour of the palace. Quite all right, Sir Lambton, Cinderella said, and walked across the chamber to greet them. I like to come here occasionally after long days to clear my head. Who might these two be? Alex and Connor couldn't speak. They were completely starstruck. This is Alex and Connor, Lambton told her. Pleasure to meet you, Cinderella said, and held out her hand. We're big fans, Connor said, and shook her hand a little too hard. Alex couldn't move. You're like my hero, Alex said to her, and that's all she couldn't manage to say. Thank you, sweetheart, Cinderella said. Welcome to my little room of memories. It's remarkable, Alex squinted. Would you like me to show you around? Cinderella asked. Alex still couldn't move her limbs, but was able to nod. Cinderella began a small tour and took them around the room to each of the items of display. Here we go, everyone. Hang on, let me have a drink. We're nearly done this chapter, by the way. These are the brooms and buckets I used to clean my stepmother's horse every day, Cinderella said. They were my first dancing parents, I remember. Whenever I was home alone, I used to dance with them around the house and pretended I was a big royal dance. Are you good, bro? Although I must say, they weren't the best at conversation. Cinderella and Lambton laughed. Alice and Connor was still in shock that they were in her presence. They were standing next to Cinderella, and she had a sense of humour. Over here are my ragged old clothes that my fairy godmother turned into a beautiful ball gown. Cinderella continued. They're not much to look at now, but whenever my fairy godmother visited us, they turned back into the most beautiful ball gown she created. Don't mind me while I make the cat come over here. They really look cool, Connor said. These are my mice. Ice. Stop running back and forth. What are you doing? Sorry, guys. Don't you dare slap me. You're going to hit. Why are you in such a vicious mood? Oh, hang on, guys. That's what you miss. That's what you miss. Hang on, guys. I like how we haven't got someone to, you know, play with the cat, but I'm gonna have to play with the cat for a second. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're in a playful mood. I need to get your playfulness out of you so you don't start scratching doors and pissing everyone off. Hello. Yeah? No. Over here. Over here. Here. Come on, nice. What are you... Come on. 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 You know you want to. You know you want to. Okay. Stop. You good? You want more? You want more? You want to play? You want to play or not? Come on. Let me know. Boop. Okay, you don't. Brilliant. Sorry, guys. Just making sure the cat's like feeling alright. Cinderella laughs. Over here are my ragged old clothes that my fairy godmother turned into a beautiful ball gown. Cinderella continued. They're not much to look at now, or wherever my fairy godmother visited us, they turned back into the beautiful ball gown she created for me. They're really cool, Connor said. These are my mice, Cinderella said, and showed the twins the miniature palace full of mice. Ooh. Miniature palace full of mice. She opened the latch and took a mouse out of the case. She gently petted it, and it peacefully nested in her hands. Are they the mice that were transformed into horses and coachmen for your carriage? Asked Connor, finally finding her voice. The original mice passed away, but these are the children of them. These are the children of their children's children, Cinderella said. I looked after them as a thank you. They have a horrible reputation, but mice are actually very gentle creatures. You just have to give them a chance. Cinderella put the mouse back with the others and walked to the center of the room. And these, I believe, need no explanation, she said, and brought the twins to the glass slippers. She removed the glass case entirely and took one of the glass slippers in her hand. Those couldn't have been they couldn't have been comfortable, Connor said. They were surprisingly easy to move in, Cinderella said. Did your feet ever get sweaty? Connor went on. That wouldn't have looked really. Alex elbowed him in the ribs. Alex, no, said Alex then Connor. Cinderella laughed, I guess. Would you like to hold one? Cinderella asked them. Alex nodded harder than she had ever nodded before. Cinderella gently lifted one from the pillar and handed it to her. A magic feeling went through Alex. She was holding a piece of a fairy tale history, perhaps the most famous object of all fantasy time was in her hands. She couldn't help but get a bit emotional. Connor, on the other hand, kept thinking of ways to steal the slipper. Alice looked up at her brother and knew what he was thinking by the intent in his eye. For a moment, they shared the same thought. Was it possible to take off with it? Sorry. Connor was actually thinking it was possible to outrun Lambton and the two guards outside the door. What was it like? Alex asked Cinderella. What was it like to go from being a servant to being the queen? What was it like to be saved from a horrible situation? Your life is literally, well, a Cinderella story. A sadness came from Cinderella's face. I never thought my life would change. I never thought my life would change so drastically. So I always made the most of that. The most of what I had. Cinderella said, I always laughed at the term Cinderella story because, if you ask me, it doesn't matter what life you're living. Life never has a solution. No matter how hard the struggles are that you leave behind, the new struggles always take their place. People forget that I wasn't liked very much by the people of the charming kingdom when I first came to live at the palace. Cinderella said not too many people were thrilled with the idea of a servant girl becoming their queen. Many people called me the Pumpkin Princess or the Mouse Muncher. Monarchy. When they first discovered the details of how I come to the ball that night. I had earned the kingdom's respect, and it wasn't easy. Being a queen has some perks, though, right? Connor asked. No more scrubbing floors or dancing and cleaning supplies or talking to mice. Meeting the man of my dreams and starting a family is the best thing that will ever happen to me. Cinderella said with a smile and rubbed her belly. And that is what makes the happiest and luckiest woman in the world. However, living in a public life is a difficult thing to do. And even now, I still find it a bit overwhelming, no matter what you do. You can never please everyone, and that was the hardest lesson to learn. In fact, I'm still learning it. This was all much a revelation to Alex. Suddenly, the fairy tale would seem seemed even more real than it had before. She never thought she could respect Cinderella more than she already did, but she had never thought about the story from her point of view. Alex set a glass slipper back beside the other one. At first, Connor shot her a look. What are you doing? We have to steal that. But they both knew they couldn't take it, at least not tonight, not after the kindness that had been shown. After all the magical things that have happened in their life, this is my most prized possession, Cinderella said. Her hands still on her pregnant stomach, and she's going to be here any day now. How do you know it's a girl? Alex said. Mother's intuition, Cinderella said. She never sits still when she hears music, so she must have a taste. She must have my taste and her father's energy. One of the guards from the hallway burst into the display room. Your Majesty, Sir Lambton, your presence has been requested in the ballroom, the guard said very seriously. Something was wrong. What's the matter? Sir Lambton asked. Soldiers from the Northern Kingdom. They've come with a message for the king and queen, he said. Lambton handed the twins their bags, and before they knew it, the twins were following him, Cinderella and the other guards out of the display room and down the hallway towards the ballroom. Now, how are we going to get a hold of those glass slippers? Connor whispered to Alex. We'll have to collect them another time. We'll have to collect all the other items first, and then come back for it, Alex said. It should be the easiest to explain why we need it if we have all the other items first. We've already established a trusting relationship with them. I knew I should have grabbed one when I had the chance, Connor said. They returned to the ballroom. All the guests were still, and the orchestra was dead silent. Cinderella returned with her husband. At the front, dozens of the soldiers dressed in silver armor, whom Alex and Connor had seen on the first day of the Land of the Stories, were now spread throughout the ballroom. Forgive our intrusion, Your Majesty. My name is Sir Grant. I am the head of Queen Snow White's royal guard. We have news regarding the evil queen, the leading of the soldiers said. What is it? King Charming said. Everyone in the room could tell it was not good news by his tone. You could have cut the tension with a worry in the air with a knife. Such a good saying. Bye. One moment, guys. There we go. Last night, a magic mirror that belonged to the evil queen was stolen from her former chambers, Sir Grant said. The evil queen is still very much at large, and she has her former mirrors makes her a much greater threat to all of us. We're asking, pleading, if anyone in Charming Kingdom knows anything about where the evil queen is hiding, that they please let us know immediately. Snow White's soldiers filled out the ballroom. King Charming and Cinderella embraced each other, worried both for themselves and for what the news meant to their kingdom. It was lovely to meet you children, but I must go now, Lambton said to them. He patted their shoulders and then headed out after the soldiers. Many of the guests began leaving as well. Alex and Connor followed them out of the entrance steps and away from the palace. This whole evil queen situation is starting to concern me, Alex said. I know, but it's not really our problem, Connor said. We'll be long gone before anything else happens. I suppose so, Alex said. Where are we off to now? Connor asked. The Little Red Riding Hood Kingdom in north is north of here, Alex said. I say that's our best direction to head. I hope we have better luck getting hold of Red Riding Hood's basket. We'd better not chicken out this time, Connor said. Gosh, we were so close. He clenched a tight fist. We just couldn't have taken it. Not without permission, Alex said. It wouldn't have felt right. I'm so tired of being a good person, Connor said. Despite having failed to collect a glass slipper and the abrupt end of their evening, the twins had a pretty fantastic night. It wasn't every day that they got to have such an intimate conversation with one of the most famous women in history. Luckily, the twins found a night driver transporting a cart full of pears to a village in the northern part of the Charming Kingdom. They convinced him to let them ride on the back of the carriage in exchange for a few gold coins. It would only be for a few mile walk to the Red Riding Hood Kingdom from there. Connor fell asleep as soon as they climbed aboard. Alex couldn't sleep, so she decided to read through the journal again. She reached into her bag and was astonished to discover what was inside it. "Connor!" Alex grasped. Connor jumped back to consciousness. "What is it?" he asked. Oh, I thought this was going to happen. Actually, no, I didn't. I think I know what it is. He looked over and saw something very shiny in Sister's hand. His eyes were still a little blurry from sleeping, and he had to let them adjust before realizing what it was. A glass slipper! Connor exclaimed. And Alex gestures for him to keep quiet so the driver wouldn't hear them. "How in the world did we get one? Did you steal it?" I thought it was... Were you? Alex's mouth was so wide it could have fit a dozen of pears inside of it. "No, it wasn't me, I swear." "Do you think Lambton or Cinderella put it in your bag?" Connor asked. "Do you think one of them knew we needed it?" "I have no idea," Alex said. She couldn't believe she was actually holding on to one of Cinderella's glass slippers. They both were completely dumbfounded. Look! Looks like our trip to Charming Kingdom wasn't such a waste after all," Connor said. And that is the end of chapter 9. Now, I've really got a bad question here. Why wasn't there just one last slipper left? Because as it's happened before, this spell, that means that slippers had to be used before, which makes that doesn't make any sense to the story whatsoever. Like, that makes no sense. Like, how can you go into a kingdom where you need the slipper to go somewhere and just, you know, I just don't know how to put this. I just don't know, guys. Like, how can they? How? I'm so confused. I'm really confused. How can from chapter 8 we find them traveling to a different area? Oh no, that was chapter 9. Chapter 8 we found that the evil queen has like a presence and going to hunt all these items. And then chapter 9 we go straight into the Charming Kingdom. We go through the gates. We go to Cinderella's display room, go through all the corridor, and Charlie's missing. Charming. But when they get there, they got one of the slippers. Why isn't there just one slipper? There had to be one slipper. Unless one's a replica and the one that they actually have is the real one, and the one that they've got in their bag is the actual real one, and the ones on display are actually replicas, and no one knows about it. That would be amazing as like that would be really cool in the future if the evil queen goes there and tries and takes one, then tries to use this thing in the end, and goes, "Oh, this isn't actually hers, this is actually a replica," then she would have actually been tricked. That's actually a pretty cool idea if that's the case. I don't know, but this has been an amazing read. I'm absolutely thrilled to see what happens next time. I'm actually, like, my heart is beating 1,000 times a second, like a minute even, not even a second. Oh god, could you imagine? I really loved today, and I hope you guys have really enjoyed today's book read. That was chapter 8 and chapter 9 of The Wishing Spell. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna only do chapter 8, but it took 30 minutes. I didn't want to be here 30 minutes, so you guys go, well, that wasn't worth it. So we did chapter 9 as well. We'll be back for chapter 10 and possibly chapter 11 next time. I think just chapter 10. Yeah. Chapter 10 is like 30 pages. Is that chapter 11? Yeah, that's chapter 11. So we will be back for chapter 10 next time. There's so much chapters to this, guys. 24 chapters. This whole book, it's crazy. I'm loving it, and I hope you guys have loved it too. There'll be an update on the Discord, so put exclamation mark Discord in chat. I can do it right now for you guys. Discord. You can go there and go to find out what's going on. Just go to the ping place and you'll find it. If you need my socials, actually I don't think it's social, it's socials. SOCIALS. Socials? That's one. My socials are there. I did make a... Oh no! Nightbot, that won't work on phone. I wonder why. Let me fix that now. You can. Also, you got my Instagram, you've got my Discord, my Twitch, and my YouTube. I haven't put my Facebook or anything like that because that's personal. I'm making a Twitter account for this, so that is going to be coming soon-ish. So you guys will be able to see that. Let me just quickly, change this, because socials should be like this. So if you guys were on a phone and you can't access my socials, that's because it should be... There should have been the space, and now you can. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, go and join the Discord server, and there'll be updates every day, every time we do one of these streams. And yeah, thank you very much for coming along. Also, thank you very much for Don and Hannah, aka Lamadia, for recommending Sneak. I would really recommend getting their drinks. Let me know if you want to get some, because I can give you a code, which for £17, you can get the Sneak Shake, and you can get 5. You can get 5 free. 5 free. What I've had, I've got sour apple. Strawberry and watermelon that I've had, purple storm that I've had, what I'm having now. There's a few others. There is, I can't remember them off my head. I'm really sorry, Sneak. Sour apple, tropical, and cherry bomb, of course. But yeah, they are really nice. Do go and check them out. If you want more information, do drop me a message on Discord or just ask me in chat. Thank you very much for everybody coming along, and we'll see you back here on Monday, possibly, for some Minecraft. I am starting work next week, I believe, or in a few weeks' time, so schedules are going to be changing a little bit, so just make sure you guys are aware of that before anything happens. But for now, we will see you guys in a little while with a bit more of the wishing spell, where we're going to go to the Red Riding Hood's kingdom. I wonder what's going to go there. Is Red Riding Hood there? Is who we're going to meet? The wolf going to kill us? Are we going to find Nanny and we're going to die? Or are we going to listen to the innuendos we have? But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But for now, I'll see you guys back here on some Minecraft or some Stardew. We'll see what's going on, and also Charity Tuesday if that's a stream next week. Also, on the last week of May, there definitely will be a Charity Tuesday. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And also Monday there should be a stream, because that is the week I'm off anyway for bank holiday. But for now, before exam starts, I'm gonna be individuating. See you guys very soon for some more Book Read on Friday. Well, Saturday maybe, or Sunday. I really don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. It might be that day, or we might do it Monday. Who knows? I'll let you know in Discord, don't worry. But for now, I'll see you guys later. Bye! Ice is ripping my chair, you bastard. Why? Yeah, I see you. See you guys. What is he like? He's just ripping the fucking door apart. He just wants to be played around with him, like. Come on. Da-da-da.